Hello everyone and a massive welcome, or welcome back, to Fallout Play Build Collect. In the last video we took a look at some of the amazing shots of the inside of the vault that have appeared. In this video we're going to take a look at some of the exterior pictures we have so far, take a deep dive into them and see what we can learn about the show. So stay with me and let's get straight into it. In this first picture we see two scientists with what appears to be a body on a gurney. We can see the camera arm in shot as well. We can also see other people with what look like medical scrubs in the background, or possibly even containment suits. A closer look at these two individuals suggests that they're wearing Vault-Tec lab coats. For a closer look at that, stay tuned to later on in the video and I'll do the side-by-side comparison shots like I did in the previous video. Some other shots do show this to be a train station. Of course, in Vault 88, we do see a number of train tunnels leading into the vault. So perhaps this is Vault-Tec personnel, either bringing bodies into or out of a vault. But what do you guys think? This second shot shows what appears to be some kind of security guard. They look like they've done an excellent job of replicating the laser rifle, and you can see just above his head there's another individual with a laser rifle. The general consensus of opinion seems to be that this guy could be from the Enclave, just judging by the uniform. I don't think this guy's uniform does match the Enclave, but we'll take a closer look at that later. Next up we have this newly emerged image of a Nuka-Cola truck. Of course the style and design of the truck is nothing like the ones we've seen in the actual Fallout games, but I think this is a fair thing for them to have to take some shortcuts with, to actually reproduce the truck and the trailer exactly the same as in the Fallout games would have been prohibitively expensive, I'm guessing. To take a modern day vehicle and just paint it with the Nuka-Cola colours does seem to be a reasonable compromise. That said, I think they have to be very careful they don't produce too much footage with recognisable current day technology, especially vehicles. Fallout is very well known for having its own brand of technology, its own style, and especially in the vehicles. And speaking of vehicles, the next shot we have is an exterior shot of what is a Super Duper Mart. I think they've done a good job here of trying to find vehicles that suit the style of Fallout. Obviously these are real world vehicles and we will be able to recognise them as such. But I think they've done a very good job of finding things that fit the world as well as they can. It would have been nice if they'd actually made maybe a Corvega or something that we know from the show, but I think again this is a reasonable compromise. As we move on to this next picture, we can see that somebody has used these cars and trucks as a barricade section. We can see from the sandbags on top of the cars that this has been used as a defensive position at some point. We could also see over on the far right side what appears to be a scrap wall. Again, this looks just like in the game. And this shot shows us one of the cars all rusted out. Again, it's not quite the sort of style we're used to in the game, but I think it's a fair compromise. But what do you guys think? Do you think these vehicles are a fair compromise? Or would you have liked to see them go the full hog and actually reproduce the cars from the games? We have another shot of the Super Duper Mart here, this time with some kind of container vehicle out front, again heavily rusted up. In the background you can see this location. I believe this is Staten Island in New York, and it seems like this is in quite a busy urban area with lots of people driving past. So again, if anybody's actually been there and seen this, let us know in the comments below. Here we see how they've decorated the set, some of the piles of dirt and dust lying around, trying to make it look a little bit more like the wasteland. And this pile of dirt has a skeleton sitting on top. Of course we see a lot of skeletons lying around in the games. And here we can see some crane operators putting a Super Duper Mart sign up on the side of the building. Here we have some longer shots showing some green screens, and you get a better idea of how they've just managed to turn this small corner of New York into a little piece of the wasteland. I'm led to believe from what people have said online that they may actually now be done filming at this site and are actually tidying it up. They are also filming on several other sites across New York. No pictures of those so far, but we know one of those sites is in a quarry. And we know they've also been to a cave complex in New York. I don't think it takes a great deal of speculation for us to realise that they're trying to film something that would be in and around the exterior of the vault. There's something else I'd like to speculate here as well. While a lot of people are saying they don't want the show to be based in New York, just because they're filming on New York locations, it doesn't necessarily mean the show is going to be set in New York. So now let's take a look at those comparison shots. Here we can see the Vault-Tec lab coat. The real giveaway here seems to be the yellow monitoring device on the right breast. These clearly seem to be shown on the lab coats in the picture. I searched extensively for any kind of pictures of Enclave personnel in these plain black uniforms. I couldn't find them. These are the Enclave personnel from Fallout 3. I really don't think these match the Enclave at all. Of course, that doesn't mean that the producers haven't decided to come up with their own uniform system for the Enclave. Of course, the individuals don't particularly look like Vault-Tec security personnel either. Perhaps this is a new faction we haven't seen. Again, what do you guys think? Let me know. Here are some pictures of the Super Duper Mart from across all of the Fallout games. Of course, it's one of the staples of the games. I think they've done a pretty good job of replicating this on an exterior set. Probably not quite as accurate as the interior sets we saw in the previous video. Still, overall, I think they've done a decent job with the look and the feel of these sets. But what do you guys think? Of course, no word yet on what the interior of the supermarket will look like or what our characters were actually doing there. So this is the third update I've done in a row on this TV series. I'll be going back to other content now, but I will be keeping track of this series and we will be having more videos when there's more news to give you. Stay tuned to this channel and I'll do my very best to keep you all updated with all the show news as it drops. Subscribe and notify if you can, it helps me out massively. And maybe take a look at some of the other cool Fallout content here on the channel. So take care of yourselves and each other, enjoy your gaming, and I hope to see you in another video very soon. Thanks for watching.